Hello everyone. In this instructional video I'm going to be talking about Photoshop and creating a standard page layout. It does get very complex at times, and when I'm teaching Photoshop I like to have my screen, the screen that's projected up on the screen in the classroom, looking exactly the same as your screen. Right, so let's go to Photoshop and I'll just open up Photoshop. So a little bit about Photoshop. It will look very similar to most of the programs and applications that you use. One of the biggest differences is this collection of things over here. Now, this looks very complicated, and it doesn't need to be too complicated because you can actually get rid of most of it, so you don't have to even look at a lot of it. So each one of these things is an individual, what we call a panel, and if I click on the name of one of them, I can separate them and just have them all as individual panels. Now, for the standard layout page, we actually don't need most of them, so we'll get rid of most of them. So the panels can be, as you can see there, a large sort of shape. Sometimes they're long and thin, sometimes they're more square. You can actually change the shape of your panel. So if you click on the very bottom part of it, you can see it turns into a double arrow. You can drag it up and down, or you can drag them left and right. It's a little bit more tricky. There we go, left and right, and you can change the size of them. You can also get rid of them by clicking on the little X as well. You don't delete them, they're just hidden. So there's a big long list of these different panels. Sometimes you can make them a bit smaller as well, and you can just keep them into, as you can see here, we've just got a series of buttons, but essentially they are all exactly the same, and they are all individual panels. So what I'm doing is I'm opening every single one of them, and you can see some of them are buttons, clicking on the name, clicking on the X, dragging them around and getting rid of all of them. All right, so that's getting rid of all of them. I've left one of them. I'll just move my face out of the way. I've left one of them, this one here. This one is called my Tools panel, and that's like all your drawing devices, your erasing, highlighting, selecting, changing colors and things like that. So we'll need that one out. But if it's not there, it might not be there, I'll show you as well how to get that back. All right, so I haven't got any panels at all. Now all the panels all exist right at the very top here in Window. When we click on Window, we can see that all of the panels are there, and they're all in alphabetical order. If you don't see all of them and they go off the bottom of the page, because your screen resolution is different to mine, you'll see a little down arrow there. Just click on that and it will drop down to all of them so that you can see them all. All right, so the one that I got rid of last was this bottom one here. It was the Tools button, so I'm just going to click on that one and it will pop up there. Now it may actually look like a double row like this, or it might look like a single long row. The important thing is, if you can't see the bottom of the row here, okay, just click on that little double arrow there and that will pop it back for you so that you can see all of them. It doesn't really matter how you set it up. You can set that up for your own purposes. All right, so the other ones that we do need when we come over to Window, we do need to have our Navigator. So I'm going to come down to Navigator and click that on. Before I click it on, sometimes when we click one on, it will bring 2 or 3 or even more panels up for us. But then what we can do is we can delete the ones that we don't want. Okay, in this case here, Navigator's just come by itself. I'm just going to change the shape of Navigator so it's a little bit more of a square, and I'm going to pop Navigator up in this corner here. So in class, and also available on OneNote, I'll give you a page, a handout, just to show you where all of the panels go. I'll click over to my other screen right now and you'll see it. So it's called Photoshop's Essentials Screen Layout. So the main ones that we want are these history, layers, navigators and tools. For what we're doing in some of the classes, we need another one called properties. So I'm going to bring that one up as well. So this page here just tells you where they're all kept. So they're all kept in this Window tab, all in alphabetical order. just as in some other things we might need to access image, changing our color format and things like that. Don't be too worried about this one here. This is what we're focusing on in this little video instruction at the moment. Let's go back to the main screen now, and here we are again. So the other ones I need is I need navigator. I've got navigator already. I need history. History, there it is. Don't pick up histogram by mistake. So it's history. History, your history might appear nice and small like that, but we want it quite long, but not so long that like the bottom part disappears off the edge of the page. So I'm going to pop that one there and take it down, but I can still see the bottom of the page here. Next one I want is layers. Again, I don't want this too long, okay? I want to see if it's too long and then I put it in place here. Then the bottom of it, just make it a bit wider so it all fits nice and neatly, the bottom of it has disappeared, and you will need to access some of those buttons later on. So just make it smaller, pop it back into place, and then close it here. All right, so we've got navigator, layers, history. Navigator, layers, history. The other one I want is properties. Properties, that one there. All right, so this one takes up quite a lot of space, the history. So I'm actually going to click on that double little arrow button there and just drag that to that point there. And the same with properties. I'll drag that over like that, and I'll pop that underneath there as well. And they'll stay there. Now, it may not always look like that. They might be two individual buttons, but just as long as you can access them, turn them on and off nice and quickly, they don't take up too much space. All right, so this layout is called the standard layout. Now, the wonderful thing about Photoshop is you can actually save your layout. It's called a workspace. So that happens up in Windows. So I'm going to go to Windows and down to Workspace and come down to New Workspace. So New Workspace, and put your name here. So I'm going to put Mr. Taylor here, and I'm going to call it my standard layout. Click all of these ones on and save. Now, if these get all mixed up and confused and you don't know what's going on and you've forgotten how to do it all, you only have to remember one thing. All you need to do to get it back to that standard layout is go back to Windows, to Workspace, and it'll give you you can have different workspaces if you're doing different types of job, but it might say like reset your standard layout, and they all pop into place. All right, so this is one of the first things that we need to do. And again, the reason for or purpose for doing this is to ensure that when you are learning new processes in Photoshop, what I'm demonstrating on the screen, everything is in the same place, and that will make it much easier. All right, so let's get started on the actual Photoshop work. Thank you very much.